around the world and up your block.
It's time for America to wake up!
No more bullshit.
This is it. It's a revolution.
This is a Howard 100 News Brief.
I'm Ralph Howard. Artie Lange returns to radio, but only briefly. It's Howard 100 News Spotlight.
Howard 100 News Spotlight.
Welcome to the Tony Bruno Show, folks. It is Nick DiPaolo, along with my sidekick for the evening. You might know him from film, TV, movies. He's done a little bit of radio in his past. Might have seen him on Intervention or...
After a year and a half, that laugh back on the radio.
Folks, it's the one and only Artie Lange.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, man?
Artie, unbelievable. I was nervous again. I got to be honest with you.
You were nervous about whether I'd show up or not?
No, I know you'd show up, but when I walked in, I thought I might see something like 550 pounds and pale, but
that's so 3 years ago.
Late Thursday night on Fox Sports Radio, DiPaolo and Lange, filling in for host Tony Bruno.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I've been in the sun a little bit. I went to rehab down south.
Didn't you break out of that one, though?
No, that was another one.
Oh, that was it?
That was another one.
Nick and Artie tiptoeing around Lange's sudden, brutal departure from the Stern Show in late 2009.
I was in a rehab down in Florida, and I got a little color. I tanned down there. And I'll tell you, you haven't lived till you played Scrabble in rehab, I'll tell you that. It worked out for me, though. I'll tell you, I feel healthier than I ever have.
DiPaolo discovering this diplomatic dance is a delicate one.
First, I didn't even recognize you because you've always looked like a corpse. I mean, flesh-wise, you always had kind of a gray.
Yeah, well, I stopped going in the sun in the late 80s. I started drinking in dark kitchens.
But this being a sports show, these two old pals move on quickly to the Yankees and the Red Sox.
This first hour, though, we're going to talk about Jeter, 3,000 hits, and
man,
that's really exciting for me as a Red Sox fan. I've been following that with bated breath.
How many hits is Nomar Garcia-Parra away from 3,000?
He got 1,800, I think, counting his USC day, wherever he played. No, Georgia Tech.
Counting Little League.
A picture of Artie and Nick, apparently at the radio show, posted online, showing Lange appearing to be thinner with grayer, shorter hair.
Artie looks beautiful for you people who obviously can't see him. He's as healthy as I've ever seen him. And I'm not just saying that.
That's nice of you to say that, Nick. It's gotten a little uncomfortable, though.
Well, look.
Look at what?
The last time I saw you, your chest was sagging, they're nice and firm, and apparently... Huh? What, you got a Bowflex at the house?
I got a bra. But,
nice push-up variety.
But anyway.
Lange's mind apparently as sharp as ever as he nails every bit of World Series trivia DiPaolo can throw at him.
Your mind, I thought, it would be a little bit fuzzy.
No, actually, ask Keith Richards. I'm reading Keith Richards' book, and heroin preserves you. It does. You got to just make sure you don't do too much of it at once. That's the only problem. So for your kids out there.
My mother said that about lasagna. You kids out there.
So for your kids out there.
I don't think it's going to make the air. It preserves you. Really?
Yeah, it does. It preserves you. It
actually, formaldehyde.
It embalms you.
And lest anyone think Artie's gone soft, listen to his take no prisoner stance on Casey Anthony.
That's the question. Would you father a child with Casey Anthony?
Would you father a child with Casey Anthony?
It's great if you're a guy
who... Or maybe even the grandmother. She's still...
It's great if you're a guy who hates kids.
Exactly right.
The guys take a few calls, and David from Virginia gets Artie to address the situation with the Stern Show.
Artie, big fan. I'm glad you seem to be doing okay.
Thank you.
Can't wait for you to be back on the show, hopefully.
That would be the greatest thing ever. But, listen, I was on the greatest show of all time for about 9 years, and I put them in a very awkward situation, to say the least. So what am I going to do? But I love them all, and they were great to me. I appreciate that.
Artie's back. Now what? Steve Langford, Howard 100 News.
Don't miss the Superfan Roundtable at 7 p.m. Eastern on Howard 101. At 8, the Scott Farrell Show. Scott is updating baseball and the NFL negotiations.
Stir shit up from the comfort of your home. Call the Howard 100 News Tip line, 877-H100-TIP.
Warner Brothers has picked up Undying Love, the vampire comic book miniseries. Undying Love mixes vampires with monsters from the Hong Kong underworld. Hear about Ronnie the limo driver in Atlantic City on the Howard 100 News Week in Review. That's on Friday morning at 6 Eastern and again at 7 p.m. And on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, it's Geek Time with Ralph Sorrell and John Hine. Use Twitter for updates from the Stern Show and Howard 100 News. Go to twitter.com/Stern Show. For traffic and weather on demand for Boston, Atlanta, San Diego, and other major cities, go to Sirius and XM channels 132 to 140. Another Howard 100 News Brief at the top of the hour. or as close as we can get.
Howard 100.